Timeline Unit Options. The latest reader's request inspired a look at some recently exposed context menu options in this edition of Stuart's Audacity Tips. You never know where the next interesting tidbit might originate, and this tip is proof. Be the interesting origin for someone else and pass this along, especially if that someone else is a musician. Last time we looked at the context menu that pops up if you right-click on the time scale above the timeline. This time we're looking at two more options from that same menu. This time I want to talk about the first two options on the menu, minutes and seconds, and beats and measures. They both change the units used to display the timeline. The minutes and seconds option is the default display mode for Audacity's timeline. It causes the timeline scale to show minutes and seconds above the waveform. The beats and measures option changes the display mode to show the start of each measure, shown as an integer, and each beat within the measure, shown as a decimal number with the measure number to the left of the decimal and the beat to the right. The musicians may immediately think those values don't represent the proper beats and measures in the music I loaded, and this is correct. If you select beats and measures after loading the audio, there will be a disagreement between the reality of the audio and the numbers displayed on the timeline. So how does it work properly? The key is to determine the tempo of the audio first and set the correct tempo and time signature in the time signature toolbar. It's the one that sits down at the lower left of Audacity's interface by default. Once you've set the tempo and time signature, you can load the audio into Audacity and it will match correctly. Here's an example. I chose this for the clearly defined measures at the end of the piece. You can see how they line up with the measure numbers in the timeline. Now, this is probably not how you would typically use Audacity in relation to music. Most folks that I know use it to create music more than they use it to edit and augment, so the MO there would be to start a new project, change the timeline to use beats and measures, set the tempo and time signature, and then start creating or recording. Indeed, if you look at my example above, you'll notice that in order to get the measures in the timeline to match the recorded audio, I had to set the tempo to 104.2 beats per minute. You definitely don't see decimal tempo values in normal music projects. Anyway, this is just a small diversion outside my normal VO focus, but I hope it helps some of our musically inclined readers. Also, if you're not a musician and your timeline shows those odd decimal values, you'll know how to set things back to normal. Hope this helps. I'm Stuart.